You think our criminal justice system is institutionally racist, do you?
Senator, I don't believe that our...
And then you said that, I'm going to quote your words, not mine, the disproportionate number of black men and women incarcerated and convicted are because of race. Did you say that?
Senator, what I was talking about was the racial disparities in...
And you said it solely has to do with the color of a person's skin. You really believe that, Judge?
Well, no, Senator, I don't believe that at all.
Why did you say it? You said it, you were running for judge, you said it in front of God and country on a live.
This wasn't just a confirmation hearing, it was a direct test of credibility under pressure. What you're about to watch is a moment where past statements collide with present testimony, and the results are hard to ignore. Senator John Kennedy opens with a simple approach. He reads the nominee's own words back to her. No interpretation. No spin. Just the record. And that's when things begin to shift. Because instead of a clear confirmation, the answers start changing. What was once stated confidently, suddenly becomes qualified, reframed, or walked back. This isn't about one quote, it's about consistency. And in a hearing like this, consistency is everything. As the questioning continues, the gap between what was said before, and what's being said now, becomes impossible to overlook. And once that gap is exposed, the entire tone of the hearing changes.
Judge Vaca, you are a member of an organization called the National Association Pacific American Bar Association, are you not?
I was, Senator. My membership lapsed at the beginning of this year, but I was a member for 2 years.
Well, my record shows you were a member for 22 years. Now, NAPABA, in March of 2023, while you were still a member, NAPABA issued a statement, and it said that it supports allowing transgender and intersex girls and women to participate in all sports. Is that correct?
Senator, I'm not familiar with NAPABA's statement, so I'll take your word for it.
You didn't know anything about that?
No, Senator, I joined the organization because I thought it would give me a community of other Asian American attorneys and judges, but I didn't have any interaction with anyone in the group. I didn't attend any meetings or vote, and so I'm not aware of that statement or any of other statements made by NAPABA.
So this is all an epiphany to you. Is that right?
Yes, Senator.
Okay. NAPABA also issued a statement that said the following. It supports state and local governmental entities that choose not to honor ICE detainer requests and that also decline to detain individuals solely on the basis of an ICE detainer request. So NAPABA opposes supporting ICE. Is that correct?
From what you just read, Senator, I guess I haven't read that statement, but I can tell you, Senator, that I don't ascribe to any of those statements that you just read to me.
Okay. Judge, in October of 2020, you ran for judge. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And on a talk radio interview, here's what you said. I'm going to quote.
Okay.
It's okay. We also need to recognize the effects of racism on our criminal justice system. Institutional racism impacts all of society. I think that is amplified in our criminal justice system. We see that in the disproportionate number of black men and women being incarcerated and convicted, end quote. Did I read that correctly?
Senator, I haven't listened to that particular show, but I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, okay. What do you think our criminal justice system is institutionally racist, do you?
Senator, I don't believe that our court system, by its nature, is racist.
Why did you say this then?
Well, what I meant by that was that I believe there are racial disparities in our communities.
Yeah, but that's not, we both know there's racism in every society, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not what you said. You said the criminal justice system is not just racist, it's institutionally racist. And then you said that, I'm going to quote your words, not mine, the disproportionate number of black men and women incarcerated and convicted are because of race. Did you say that?
Senator, what I was talking about was the racial disparities in.
And you said it solely has to do with the color of a person's skin. You really believe that, Judge?
Well, no, Senator, I don't believe that at all.
Why did you say it? You said it, you were running for judge, you said it in front of God and country on live.
What I said, Senator, was that I recognize that racial disparities in our community can influence rates of incarceration.
That's not what you said. You're a political activist, aren't you, Judge?
No, not at all, Senator.
Yeah. Okay, I'm over. Thanks, Mr. Chairman, for your indulgence.
At the center of this exchange is a very specific issue. The nominee had previously spoken about the criminal justice system in strong terms, suggesting systemic problems tied to race and broader societal disparities. But when those exact statements are brought back into the hearing, the explanation shifts. Instead of reaffirming those views, the nominee begins to clarify, saying the intent was different, the wording was broader, or the context wasn't fully represented. Now, to be fair, this happens often in high-pressure hearings. Statements made in one setting can sound very different when read back under oath. But this is where the scrutiny intensifies. Because Senator Kennedy isn't asking abstract questions, he's pointing directly to specific language, specific claims, and asking one simple thing. Do you stand by what you said? And the answers never quite land in one place. They move, from agreement, to clarification, to partial denial. At the same time, the questioning expands beyond just one statement. It moves into affiliations, public positions, and broader perspectives, all aimed at understanding not just what the nominee said, but what she actually believes. And this is where the hearing becomes less about a single issue, and more about trust. Because for a lifetime judicial position, clarity isn't optional, it's essential. What this moment really highlights is something bigger than one exchange. It shows how critical consistency is when it comes to positions of power, especially in roles where decisions carry long-term consequences. On one side, you have a senator focused on accountability, pressing for clear answers, using past statements as a benchmark. On the other, a nominee navigating the pressure of being questioned in real time, trying to explain, clarify, and respond under intense scrutiny. And depending on how you view it, you may see this as tough but fair questioning. Or as a moment where context wasn't fully considered. But here's what's undeniable. When statements change under pressure, people notice. When answers shift, questions grow. And in moments like this, the real issue isn't just what was said. It's whether the explanation holds up. So now the question turns to you. Do you think this was a fair test of accountability? Or a situation where the nuance got lost under pressure? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you want more clear, balanced breakdowns like this, no noise, no spin, make sure you like, subscribe, and stay connected. More coming up.